everyone, my name is Hannah Olivia. So today, I'm going to answer the question from my lecture as my sociolinguistic assignment. So the first question is please explain and give other example of language choice in multilingual communities. So my answer is language choice in multilingual communities, more than one language is used. It means that people living in this situation may speak more than one language. When interacting with others, they can choose a code or a variety which is appropriate with participant, topic, and also location. As a result, the same message may be expressed differently to different people. And here I have example. For Armenian population, the mother tongue or Armenian was dominant in most of the informal situation such as family, religion, and also friendship. Turkish was dominant in transitional domains such as transaction and neighborhood. Finally, in more formal situations such as educational institution and office, it was Persian language which stand out dominant in the domains of government and employment. And now the second question is, please re-explain by your own word about Kalala varieties. Well, Kalala live in Bukavu. It's a multicultural and multilingual city with the most of people in that city coming and going only for work and business reason. Then people live there permanently. Because the most of people in Bukavu come from many or different city, so there are much of people speaking in different languages. Therefore, Kalala use at least 3 different varieties. So, Kalala has 5 varieties, 2 varieties of She or his tribal language, and the first is formal She, and he used it with his tribe's weddings or in funerals. And the second is informal She, and he used it with his family in the marketplace with vendors from his tribe. And he has 3 varieties of Swahili or lingua franca. And the first is formal or standard. He used it at school, official transaction, example when he applies for a job. And the second is informal, kingwana or local. And he used it to people he meets in the streets and marketplace and not from his own tribe. And the third is informal or Indoville, and he used it with his friends regardless of their tribes. And for the third question is, please explain briefly and give example of domain language use and code choice. And for domains of language use is clearly a very general concept which involves typical interaction between typical participant in typical setting about a typical topic. Example of these domains are family, friendship, religion, education, and also employment. And for code choice refers to a speaker's decision of which code to use in a given utterance, and in case of a code switching utterance, to what extent the different codes are to be used. Depending on the sociolinguistic and conversational context, a speaker's code choice may be unexpected and noticed by other speakers, and is likely to affect other speakers' subsequent code choice. In other words, speakers may accommodate to each other code choice, positively or negatively. Here example, Maria lives in London and she is Portuguese, so she uses Portuguese at home and in the church. But in the office or in the school, she uses English. Now we continue to the fourth question, and the question is, please explain and mention what are social factors affecting code choice. So, social factors affecting code choice is social aspect like the context, participant, the topic, and purpose are important factors in explaining various sociolinguistic phenomena such as borrowing, diagnosia, code switching, register, style, and also interference. So, the first social factors is the participants, are the speakers or language users who involve in particular interaction or conversation which consists of who is or are speaking, and who are they speaking to. Therefore, choice of a particular code rather than another is determined by the participant involved the course of a particular interaction. And second factors is social context. Context is another determinant factors in language choice. The context here refers to any social settings or background where they or participants are speaking at the moment of the conversation, which can be in or outside a classroom, an office, or official meeting, or at home. And the third is the topic. Topic here refers to the subject matter that is being spoken about or discussed in the very moment of the conversation between the participants. A topic may be a religious sermon, formal speech, newscasting, or exchange of pleasantries between peers. Thus, selection of a quote is mostly determined by the topic of discussion. And the last factors is the purpose. This denotes interactive goals that the individual participant aim at achieving during or after the conversation. The purpose of any communicating exchange between speakers is the expression of oneself socially. Next is about number 5. So the question is, please explain of diaglossia and polyglossia. So, for diglossia refers to a situation in which two dialects or languages are used by a single language community, in addition to the community's everyday language variety. A second, highly codified variety is used in certain situations such as literature, formal education, or other specific settings, but not used for ordinary conversation. Diaglossia is a relatively stable language situation in which, in addition to the primary dialect of a language. So, for example, Arabic-speaking countries in Haiti, in Eganville, or Switzerland, two distinct varieties of the same language are used in the community, with one regarded as a high variety and a low variety. Each variety is used for quite distinct function. High variety and low variety complement each other. No one uses the high variety in everyday conversation. And for polyglossia has been used for situations where a community regularly uses more than two languages. For example, the Netherlands and Switzerland are especially well-known examples. In the Netherlands, children characteristically have instruction in Dutch as first language, begin a second, third, and fourth, or English, French, or German, within a few years of each other, and if they plan to go to university, at several years of Latin and perhaps some Greek. Most high school graduates can manage to communicate in two foreign languages. Fluency in 3 or 4 is common among university graduates. And now, finally, the last question is, please explain code switching or code mixing and what are the factors, and please give example. So, for code mixing, it occurs when speakers use two or more languages below class level within one social situation. And for example, makanya jadi orang itu don't judge a book by the cover. And for code switching, occurs when a speaker alternates between two or more languages or languages varieties in the context of a single conversation. And for example, ulikuwa ukiongea a lot of nonsense. And the example is code switching between Swahili and English. And in translation, it means you were talking a lot of nonsense. And the factors that may influence the mechanism of code mixing and code switching are the first, the individual characteristic of the speakers, and the second, the speaker language environment, and the last, the social status of speakers' languages as well as the everyday usage of them. Well, I think that's all. Thank you.